Well, look at this peaceful garden in addition to this little saw blades just dance around all over the place. Hey everybody, this is me, Blossom here, and I'm Mario here, and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. Or don't you mean Mario? We were back from the Maxi Toys. Oh, sorry. So anyways, welcome back to more Let's Play of Sonic Generations for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and as well as PC versions. So yeah, last time we actually did fully done with the actual levels themselves in the modern era, which is the form of Crisis City from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, Rooftop Run from Sonic Unleashed, and finally Planet Wisp from Sonic Colors. So today for this episode, we're about to continue on, and also not to mention that we actually did manage to get ourselves our 5th Chaos Emerald, which is two forms of the red Chaos Emerald. And also at the same time, we've rescued Blaze the Cat, Vector the Crocodile, and Charmy Bee from that perspective era. So even I know, yeah. So today for this episode, we're about to continue on and move on into the challenge acts, and this is going to be the final time we're going to be doing these challenge acts in the perspective stages. That's only because since this is a modern era, because of this this is going to be the final era we're going to be tackling for this particular Let's Play. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the actual challenge of Crisis City, and that was the form of the Power Stomp challenge. Now, you know the Power Stomp we already tackled, or we essentially just managed to accomplish that before from earlier ago. Now we actually have ourselves a much bigger improvement of the Stomp ability, where it basically kind of reminds me almost relatable to the Silver the Hedgehog's stunt ability from Sonic 06. The one you have to jump in midair and just press the X button in order to actually stun these enemies. That particular technique, it feels very similar, but even then though, except the fact that you can actually just manage to attack the Iblis creatures with a further distance. So even then though, that if you want to bypass those enemies, no problem. You should be able to clarify for actually performing that technique. So even then though, you should be able to actually come across it towards that. So anyways, regardless of such that regard, we only got about 3 more challenges left until we actually decide to actually just proceed to almost to the end, almost at the very end of the game actually. So even then though, we almost got to the point of the end. So yeah, in regards to that though, that yeah, everything should be highly doubted for anyway. So anyway, a few things I want to mention is the fact that we only got about how much days we got left until right about now. Let's just say 10 more days to go until Hey Pikmin was about to come around on Nintendo 3DS. Even though granted though, early YouTube videos already been uploaded on that particular game already. Specifically, the Japanese version did came out first, much like any other Nintendo-based games. And also judging by the fact that they did actually release the English version of the actual Let's Play of Hey Pikmin already. Well, it's most likely on bottom screen orienting that side of things, but that's only because we're not exactly sure if we'd like to tackle for Hey Pikmin on the 3DS anytime soon. Well, granted though, as far as I realized about something, they actually did now finally introduce these file selection screens, so even then though, about time for file selection screens ever since the Pikmin 2. So anyways, now we got ourselves all new skills being added into a skill shop. And let's see what music we can get. Plum Tree Panic from Sonic CD. Specifically the Japanese/European version of Sonic CD. Except for the USA version, because the USA version gets like a upbeat jazzy version of it. Anyways, now we move on to a challenge from Rooftop Run, which is actually forms of possibly is one of my favorite challenges in the entire game. Rooftop Rail Grind. So even then, this particular challenge you could be spending most of your time going to go in this little snowboarding sequence, technically speaking, but that's only because, well, obviously since there aren't any snow physics in here and there, so even then though, we can actually skating across this entire city. So even then though, it does sort of reminds me of almost related to the Cityscape level, except we're going to be doing this in Rooftop Run level, so. But still, there are some jump ramps you can actually just interact with, especially noticeable if you press the jump button at the right time. And if you do that successfully, then you can get even more boost from your boost gauge. So, yeah, I apologize for this little bit of a lag going on here, ladies and gentlemen. I really do apologize for that. But even then, though, that's all usually happens in most cases, though. But I digress. We're going to be spending most of the time just actually talking about the apologizing about the, you know, the thing constantly lacking all the time. So, anyway, though, so since we actually got to the point until we actually got onto the 8th challenge act at the moment, But even then though, we're actually almost done with the challenge acts. But even then though, again, we're not going to be going through all the challenge acts personally, because obviously there are some other challenges that I just really can't afford to doing. So even then though, that, yeah. Because, you know, all the challenge acts are completely optional though, so even then though, there's nothing else to discuss. But even though, we would, originally we're trying to love to do the challenge acts possibly, but even then though, that it probably just ended up just trying to wasting our time. And plus, we're able to actually just to be about to doing our Let's Play of Sonic 06 until, during this September this year. And also Sonic Mania will be on its way until, during next month at one point. But even though, granted though, we've pretty much gone through every single classic 2D Sonic games. The only exception was Sonic the Hedgehog 4, until just yet. But that way, it should be able to come in during this October, despite the little bit of a delay. Speaking of a delay, unfortunately though, Pac-Man World 2 Redo Let's Play will also gonna get delayed, but in forms of 2018. Most likely because I'm assuming that definitely needs to come back into the Pac-Man World 1, because it has been about a ton of delay for actually coming back to that Let's Play. But even though I need to actually point things out to him before he managed to go back to that game again. Yeah, which I highly more doubt it though anyway. Speaking of such though, that Luigi, my brother of mine, he's still about to actually continuing going on about the Luigi's Mansion Let's Play as far as this point. But even then, there's some other Let's Plays that I believe the others should ever need to catch up upon. But even though it's especially noticeable that at this point that even though we already bypassed the halfway point of 2017 already. But even though that's all there's to really say about this. And speaking of such though, is that unlike last year, that we haven't exactly gone up to a holiday vacation, but even though there are some occasional holiday camping trips we already been into since the last few days ago, but I digress though. So now we move on into the last challenge act we're going to be doing for this entire Let's Play, and also the brand new challenge we're going to be talking through, and that's the form of the goalpost jiggle, specifically post jiggle 2. But even then, what the basic gimmick of this particular mission structure works is that we need to actually guide the goal ring, or in this case a little bit of a goal post jiggle, all the way to the end of this particular section of the level. So, as you can see, that it feels exactly almost representative from the actual Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, is that every time when you actually, like for example, if you finish every single Act 1 levels, you can sometimes mess around with the entire goal until you actually get some either random items and tons of scores. But even then though, it kind of reminds me of that. Except the fact that it's all mission based. Even then though, that once you get to this point over there, then it's your chance to actually just jump right towards the goalie, as far as the goal post. And then every time when you're trying to let the goal post landing on the floor, what happens was though is that it might end up landing automatically onto the platforming itself, and what happens was though is that if it hits to Robotnik's face, what happens was though is that you're able to actually add up even more seconds. So even then though, you have to be really fast on this part, so if you do not make it nick of time like here, then obviously your 5 seconds already adds up. But even then, the only way you can actually add up to your, or in this case, subtract your time limit is by simply just constantly grabbing either the blue timer, or to simply just actually grabbing the yellow timer. So, that's how usually how this mission structure works. Even then, that, the reason why we're not doing a Crisis City version of this particular mission, because, you know the other instant, KO, or in this case, you know the Crisis City has a wind current situation. Oh my god, we're getting butt kicked by this Eggman's robot over there. But even though, as you can see, when it usually says like a spiral star over there, that actually represents you need to actually let the goalpost land onto that area. And at the same time, when this has been landed, you must be sure you have to approach it at the same time, so that way the mission's been complete. So, yeah, there you go, folks. That's all the challenge acts we're going to be showing off. Even though we're literally trying to go through all 9 of these different categories, but unfortunately, though, due to the fact that our serious short-term memory loss, we actually have a bit of a problem. But even though, that's all there is to really think about it. So, anywho, let's see what's in here. We got ourselves Sonic Boom. No, not Sonic Boom from the TV series. Neither did the video games like, you know, the crappy Rise of Lyric. And pretty okay in Shadow Crystal, and pretty good in Fire and Ice. But the Sonic Boom, as far as the actual soundtrack from Sonic CD North American version. So, it's one thing I need to point things out. But even then, I still usually enjoy Sonic Boom theme. than the likes of how it does say that you can do anything from the Japanese and European version. But even then, though, that I do love them both. But even then, I kind of listen to Sonic Boom even a bit more. Sonic, is that really you? Or are you some kind of clone sent for the Chaos Emeralds? Okay, so we ended up going to fight against with Silver the Hedgehog? It's no use! Enough about this little joke already. I just can't help it for myself, Mario, you know? So anyways, here we on to the third rival battle, and now it's the form of Silver the Hedgehog from Sonic 06, first appearance. Yeah, exactly. Silver the Hedgehog. And you know, the entire battle in this particular environment-wise, it usually takes place in Crisis City, which, actually, to be pointing things out though, I think that this particular boss battle feels more likely much better than the likes of how it does in the original Sonic 06 battle, because the only problem we have with the original Sonic 06 battle against Silver is that for first-time players, they might actually get a little bit of a struggling and also a lot of trial and error annoyances. Like, for instance, if you constantly let Silver go all the way to... If you're constantly going all the way towards Silver, every time when you actually just trying to attack you, he says, like, it's no use, take this. And if you have no rings, then this will end it. But even then, though, that's, in order to actually attack him on the Sonic 06 game, is that you must able to let... you must let him say, how about this? And then you just have to homie attack him. Or the alternate way is by simply just actually using a whip kick ability for Sonic. Even though that will definitely happen in the Sonic 06 Let's Play if definitely decides to tackle for that game. So, anyway, the addition to this particular battle this time around, though, is that you need to actually constantly just do a homie attack onto these little psychokinesis types of vehicles, also random objects. Every time you do that, then this is how you get a chance to attack Silver the Hedgehog himself. But even though, this is miles better than the likes of Sonic 06 battle, because in the original Sonic 06 battle of Silver the Hedgehog, that can get really cheap at times. So even then, that's why I can really think about it. Oh, that's the exact same attack as what Egg Emperor does. Like, take this, take that, take this, take this. But I digress though, enough about this little dialogue heavy or anything like that. So anyways, in this particular phase right there is that you have to jump onto this little pile of junk, and then if you get onto the top of it, you have to quickly homie attack onto Silver the Hedgehog, because if you don't make it in nick of time, then you won't get a chance to hit him. And I believe this might be the fifth and the final section of this battle here, is the fact that we need to actually dodge a chunk of portions of the ton of car junks and all that stuff. But what we can do here is that we need to actually do a quick stepping timing on this particular object that's been stomping. And every time you do that, quickly jump and then homie attack into Silver for his last blow. And there he goes. All his way into this little pile of junk. But even though there's also another achievement you can get. In fact, every single some of these achievements in this game, / trophies in the game, they were really easy to get. Much like how it does in Sonic Unleashed and all that stuff. Yeah, which makes me wonder though, that, yeah, that's what I can say. So anyways, now we've gone through Silver the Hedgehog, in addition to actually having ourselves our 6th Chaos Emerald, which is the forms of the Grey Chaos Emerald, so even then we only got one more Chaos Emerald left. But even then though, we know exactly what the final color actually represents from, is actually light blue. So yeah, now we're done with those, so now we can actually move on to the actual boss battle in the modern era, and now we see forms of, I believe... Although, to be fair, that we'll discuss more into that as soon as we actually get into it. And by the way, that, you know, Silver the Hedgehog's first appearance, we already mentioned this before, is actually from Sonic 06. But even though in Sonic 06, Silver battle usually takes place in Soliana, as far as the actual boss battle is concerned. So, we have no idea why we're constantly doing that, because we'd like to remind you that if you're trying to jump dash through this little dark blockage, it will push you back. So even though, yeah. So here we go, folks, on to the actual boss battle in the modern era in this particular game. So who could possibly Humanus will be? Egg Dragoon. Oh wow, a boss battle from Sonic Unleashed already? Okay, we didn't expect that. So anyways, here we go on to Egg Dragoon from Sonic Unleashed. But even though this time, however, though, we don't have ourselves our Hedgehog abilities anymore. Because obviously, since we're going to be still take control of modern Sonic for the entire time. So basically, this entire battle works is that we're going to be going completely on rails for the entire time. There's no turning back or anything like that, because obviously we have to continuously going forward. So basically, in this boss battle works though is that you have consist of 2 different weak spots, because you know, you don't have to worry about trying to beat the likes out of him as far as the Hedgehog version from Sonic Unleashed game. But even then though, what makes the Egg Dragoon so unique in the original version is that you can basically just try to deal the likes of a ton of damage for the Hedgehog formation for Sonic. But even then though, what makes the, you know, super awesome for the Hedgehog battle for this particular battle in the original version is that, you know, that this is the only time that the Hedgehog must deal with the damage for the Hedgehog for Egg Dragoon. But even though, what makes it so thrilling about is that every time you try to proceed to the damage of Egg Dragoon is that it'll just try to make the environments look change, like, you know, the facilities and all that stuff, and then later on it'll become a magma lava, so that's actually pretty interesting. But here you're gonna be fighting him during the actual takes place in the actual Eggman land, so yeah, because of, you know, the environment and all that stuff. But even then though, yeah. So there are some occasional moments that as we established earlier, there are 2 different weak spots you're going to be working on with. Like for instance, there's going to be one at the top and the other from the bottom. So it doesn't matter what attacks you're going to be using though, however though. So even then though, every time you're trying to attack one of those weak spots, it doesn't matter what spots you're going to be attacking from. So even then though, it doesn't matter how much hits you're going to be hitting him. So yeah. So the only problem I have with this incarnation of this boss battle compared to the Sonic Unleashed version is the fact that this boss battle seems to get a little bit too dragged on compared to how it does in the original. And also that there's one annoying dialogue for Eggman though, specifically in the modern version of Eggman. And that was the form of time for a change of pace. That can get pretty old pretty fast. But even then though, that's all there is to really say about this here, so... But again, that his first appearance was obviously for Egg Dragoon though anyway. It's actually based off of from Sonic Unleashed. So, well, compared to the original Sonic Unleashed boss battle from the this, I think Sonic Unleashd's boss battle version exactly feels a little bit more energetic than it looks to me. Because even though, oh, we got ourselves a skydiving sequence at least. But even though it doesn't take you to the magma section, so that's a little bit of a change right there. Oh god, there are some closing doors. So yeah, you have to be really fast until you actually just do not get hurt by this little smacked out, you know, closed doors. Because I believe, if you touch one of those, I believe that's an instant KO or something like that. Yeah, I digress though, so let's see if we actually warp into a different section. And sometimes we're going to be switching between either 3D elements and sometimes 2D elements as well. So even though there's going to be a lot of times we're going to be switching perspectives and all that stuff. And there are occasional skydiving sequences here and there. So for the most part, this battle is not too bad. It's just that it seems a little bit too tacked on at one point. And by the way, for those who'd be very curious about what just happened right there, sometimes the dash ramps can get really glitchy at one point. Even especially noticeable if you desperately want to get into those rail grinding segments, if you want to attack Egg Dragoon from the top, sometimes it just somehow vanquish itself. But even though it doesn't usually matter to us too much though, I have to admit that, oh god, we got no rings now. Come on, let's see if we can actually hopefully get ourselves our new ring and what have you. What?! That doesn't... Okay, we meet there again. Sorry about that, folks. I can't believe how that happened right there. Like, we somehow managed to think if we managed to let the flamethrowers disappear, but sometimes the hit detection sort of feels a bit there. But there we go. And of course, we have to redo this boss fight because obviously if you die on this particular battle, then you don't get a chance to gain an S rank from. But there we go. That concludes Egg Dragoon in Sonic Generations. Oh no, I still prefer the Sonic Unleashed version of this battle. But even though it still works even to this day. But even though I can't believe we actually got a cheap shot on that part.
I can't believe this. I was supposed to beat you this time.
I'm sorry. I didn't get that memo. I beat you every time. No, seriously. We beat this guy every time. It's like it's our job or something.
What's Eggman even doing here? I thought you said he'd been kidnapped by that big weird thing that sent us all to this place. See? He was kidnapped. This is getting stranger all the time.
Well, it turns out that modern Eggman is now finally kidnapped. But even then though, who's behind all this kinds of stuff, whoever sucks through time and space? But I digress though, since we're actually completely done with modern era, while we beat the likes of Dragoon, so that means, ladies and gentlemen, we can now represent the final area in the game. And that was in form of these little cog sections here. So even then though, that what these little flashy effects will do, we'll explain more details until we get into the next video. But for now, we got ourselves the 7th and the final Chaos Emerald in the game. So, again, another simple, easy achievement you can get is by simply just trying to grab all 7 of these Chaos Emeralds. So, you know, self-explanatory, overall, done it well. So we're going to have to end things off here as far as we can actually walk onto this white limbo for a second. Because join us next time on Let's Play Sonic Generations for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and PC version. Is the fact that we're going on to the final part of the game while we're going to be taking on the true final boss of the game. Yes, true final boss of the game. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas. See you guys then.